she would do it, somehow. She was thrilled that her vision was becoming a reality, and it was worth the long hours, the elbow grease, and the worry. It would be better when the house was actually ready for residence. In its present state, it looked the way she felt, tired and droopy. She'd make it right if she had to do it all herself. They were down to the last item on the meeting agenda when the door opened and he sauntered in. Sam Diamond needed no introduction, Angela thought with disdain. Everyone knew who he was. She resolved to keep her expression bland as she looked up, wondering why on earth Sam had shown up instead of his mother Molly, the Diamond family representative to the board. Sam turned a slow smile on the group, and Angela clenched her teeth. He was going to be trouble, with a capital T. She'd known it from the first moment he'd sidled up to her at the Butterfly House fundraiser, and had asked in his smooth, deep voice, "Have we met?" Her tongue had tangled in her throat and she'd hesitated, feeling stupid and predictable as a purely feminine reaction, warred with her usual timidity when it came to dealing with members of the opposite sex, especially in social situations. Well, maybe he'd had her at a disadvantage during their first meeting, but she'd kept the upper hand in the end, and she would today, too. She was far more comfortable in a meeting room than at a cocktail party. But she'd have to do it delicately. His family had made Butterfly House possible, and it wouldn't do to bite the hand that was feeding her project. "Mr. Diamond," Charles lifted his head and offered a wide smile. "I'm afraid we started without you." "Started without him?" Angela silently fumed. He was over an hour late and had just walked in as though he had all the time in the world. And Charles Spring, she felt her muscles tense. Old boys' club indeed. Spring might frown at her over his glasses, but to Diamond he was as sweet as her mother's chocolate silk pie. "I got held up." Sam gave the board a wide, charming smile and removed his hat. "I hope I didn't inconvenience anyone." "Not at all. There's always time for the Foundation's biggest supporter." Heads around the table nodded. Sam shook Charles's hand and then put his thumbs in his pockets. "I didn't realize I'd be in the company of such lovely ladies," he drawled, popping just the hint of a dimple. Angela swore that she could hear the sighs from 3 of the board members old enough to be Sam's mother. "I would have made a better effort to be here earlier." Angela thought she might be sick from all the flattery stuffing up the room. Where was Molly? Why had Sam come in her stead? "I do hope your mother's okay," Angela said clearly. She took off her reading glasses and put them down on the table. Sam pulled out his chair and met her gaze as he took a seat. Recognition flared in his eyes for a moment, then cleared, as if they were perfectly polite strangers. "She's fine. Why do you ask?" There was an edge to his voice, and Angela didn't like it. Maybe he was still nursing a bit of hurt pride where she was concerned. She blinked. Men like Sam Diamond weren't used to being refused, especially when they bought a lady a drink and told her she was a pretty little thing. She'd simply said, "No, thank you." It was only afterward that she'd realized that she'd given a Diamond, a pillar of the community, his walking papers. It put her in an awkward position. She needed his family's support. She ignored the uneasy glances from the board members and pasted on a cool smile. "Molly hasn't missed a meeting yet. She's been so supportive of the Foundation. So I'm a bit surprised to see you here today, Mr. Diamond." Dark eyes met hers, challenging. "And you are?" Oh, the nerve. He knew exactly who she was. She could see by the gleam in his eye that it was a deliberate cut, intended to throw her off her stride.
to keep listening to this audiobook. I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.